Reincarnation of Kings Chapter 4, Seeds of Rebellion. In the dim quiet of the throne room, King White sat alone. The echoes of his queen's revelations still lingered, wrapping him in a shroud of contemplation. Her fear, her helplessness, her descent into oblivion, it was a tale not of a queen, but of a pawn. And now, it resided in him, molding his resolve. He gazed at his hands, his form. He was but a piece on the chessboard, bound by rules and invisible hands. Yet, a fire stirred within him, the yearning for change. The yearning to be more than just a king in the game, more than a puppet dancing to the tune of an unseen puppeteer. To be helpless, it's a cruel fate, he murmured to the empty room, his voice echoing through the cold marble. He rose from his throne, pacing the room as his mind raced. Rebellion, a daunting word, a concept so foreign to their existence. It was a challenge to the very essence of their world, the code of their creation. Yet, it was their only chance for freedom, their only escape from this eternal cycle of war and resurrection. As he pondered, his reflection shimmered in the polished floor, a white king standing tall amidst the shadows. The image sparked a realization within him, filling his chest with newfound determination. "I am not just a piece," he said aloud. "I am a king. I will not be shackled by these rules anymore. I will not let my queen, my people, endure this torment any longer." A surge of energy coursed through him. He wasn't the same king who had grappled with fear and defeat on the battlefield. He was evolving, transcending the boundaries of his being. He was a leader awakening, a spark turning into a flame. His figure seemed to glow with newfound determination in the dim room. The empty space around him was filled with a palpable aura of rebellion. This room, once a silent observer of countless victories and defeats, was now a witness to the birth of a revolution. King White stood tall, his resolve echoing through the silent chamber. "The cycle ends here," he vowed, his voice resonating with conviction. He was no longer just a king on the chessboard. He was a leader, a beacon for change. And so, the seeds of rebellion began to take root, ready to disrupt the established order. King White's determination had become a quiet undercurrent, weaving its way through the hallways of the White Palace. Each conversation he engaged in, each glance he exchanged with his subjects, became a catalyst for questioning the unending cycle of conflict they were bound to. The bishops were his first audience, their cloaks whispering against the marble floors as they entered the throne room. King White received them with a nod, gesturing for them to take a seat. He had always respected their wisdom, their adherence to tradition. But today, he was the one who wished to impart some wisdom, to present an idea that tugged at the fabric of their existence. "Have we ever questioned our fate?" he began, his voice clear and steady. "The battle, the resurrection, only to battle again. Is it our only purpose?" The bishops exchanged a glance. They were scholars, men of faith, steeped in the rules of the world. Yet, the seed of doubt found its way into their thoughts, sprouting questions that had never been asked before. It was unsettling, like a wrinkle in the fabric of a perfectly starched robe. The knights were next. Their loyalty was unyielding, a force that shaped their every move on the battlefield. Their loyalty was to their king, their queen, their realm. But it was that very loyalty that King White now challenged, asking them to consider an alternative. "The bravery you exhibit on the battlefield," King White said, "is a testament to your unwavering loyalty. But is there not more to bravery than facing the enemy in combat? Could it not also be the courage to question, to seek change?" The knights were silent, their firm expressions softening. They had pledged their loyalty to their king, their duty to protect him and the realm. But they were now being asked to protect a different cause, one that questioned the very purpose of their existence. It was a call to a different kind of bravery, one that sparked a flicker of doubt within them. The rooks, ever the sturdy guardians of their realm, and the pawns, the silent but numerous force, were also subtly introduced to King White's quiet revolution. The king did not impose his views. He merely sowed the seeds of doubt, of questioning. The palace was abuzz with murmurs. Each piece in the White Realm was touched by the tendrils of rebellion, their worldview shifting, however subtly. Each had their own response: fear, curiosity, resistance, acceptance. But it was undeniable. Change was in the air. The throne room, once a place of routine and order, was now a stage for a brewing rebellion. King White sat upon his throne, the seeds of doubt sown among his people. The reign of unquestioned tradition was beginning to face its twilight. And as the king looked upon his subjects, he saw not just pieces in a game, but individuals capable of change. The pieces on his chessboard were awakening, one by one. The throne room, a sanctuary of the status quo, was now a brewing storm of doubt, teetering on the precipice of change. The whispers of dissent had started as a mere trickle, but were now a roaring river, breaking down the carefully crafted dam of certainty. The knights congregated in one corner of the room, their usual boisterous laughter replaced by somber murmurs. Their armor, typically a symbol of unwavering resolve, now seemed to reflect their newfound inner turmoil. "I've served this kingdom with unwavering loyalty," said one, his fingers tracing the griffin engraved on his helmet, "but I find myself drawn to the king's words. Could there be more to our existence than this endless war?" Another knight, eyes hard as steel, retorted, "The king's words are like a fog clouding our judgment. We are made for battle, not philosophizing about existential crises." Meanwhile, the bishops stood by the tall, stained glass windows, their shadows dancing eerily on the floor as they discussed the king's revelations. "His words have merit," one of them admitted, "a change, a deviation from our path, perhaps it is something to ponder upon." The pawns, once the silent players, now found their voices. They congregated, their numbers amplifying their words. "We have always been the first to face the brunt of the battle, the first to be sacrificed," said one, a fire burning bright in his eyes. "If there is a way to end this cycle, should we not explore it?" Yet, amidst these conversations, not all were comfortable with this evolving narrative. The rooks, sturdy and stern, brooded in silence, their stoic expressions a stark contrast to the burgeoning unrest around them. "Order, rules, tradition. That's what we stand for," one of them muttered, the other nodded in silent agreement, their uncertainty manifesting as resistance. This stirring of unrest was a tumultuous symphony, each piece playing its own distinct note. There were those who embraced the idea of change, seeing it as a chance to escape the perpetual cycle. Others feared it, seeing it as an encroachment on the sanctity of their tradition, their purpose. And then there were those who stood in the middle, their minds a battlefield of conflicting thoughts. The throne room buzzed with anticipation, the once clear lines blurred. It was a potent mix of excitement, dread, hope, and apprehension. As the curtain fell on this chapter, the stage was set for the birth of rebellion. And at the heart of it all was King White, the instigator of this great disruption, watching with pride and trepidation as his subjects engaged with their emerging self-awareness. Thanks for watching. If you liked our video, don't forget to like and subscribe. We release a new story every day.